It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it comes your way next.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And, CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
First play, and Hurts looking to throw it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this will be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Hurts to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 31-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. And Smith in motion right. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. He's into space past the 25. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 11 more on that one and another first down.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Hurts. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To the air goes Daniels. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards there and a Washington first. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
A give left side to Robinson. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They go play action. Daniels able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, first down. That may be a sneak peek on this opening drive of what this young rookie can showcase, his legs.
And normally, as you start a game, you're just thinking, can he get the snap? Can he hand off? Can he just execute? Instead, he doesn't waste any time on wrapping another dimension to his game, showing off those wheels, and picking up some nice yardage.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
2nd down and 6 now. To throw is Daniels. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jaden Daniels taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Commanders are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A 10-play drive that time. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Throwing is Hurts. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. These two teams all tied after one. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Here's 2nd and 3. As they've got it as we resume action. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Back to throw now on first down. And that, incomplete. Daylight in front if he could have held on, but he didn't. So instead, it's second down.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. They'll set up a throw. That is caught. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
From the gun, it's Hurts. He shakes him off. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
And as a defensive coordinator, you're almost in a no-win situation down here near the goal line. You know how dangerous Jalen Hurts is when he holds on to it. You've got to be prepared to stay with him. So when he hands it off, if you're slow in reacting, this is going to be the result.
Elliott on for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Throwing now is Daniels. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. He's to the 15. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 74 yards. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and we are tied at 14. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll set up to throw. That one complete out to Dotson. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it second down. They'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
On 3rd and short, not only did he get away from the rush and pick up a first down, he picked up a whole lot more than that. And how did he get it done? Evaded the rush, kept his poise, and then how about him directing traffic as he moved downfield to pick up extra blockers? A really nice run.
They'll look to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up second down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Dotson in motion right. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely, and that sack finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. The kick by Elliott is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. He's to midfield. Still going past the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Barkley, inside handoff. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Hurts sets up to throw it. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Here's Hurts to throw. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Hurts. Now swing pass for Dillon. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
They'll look to throw again. Touchdown, Eagles! Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles are able to move back in front. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this 1st half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. The visitors' offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this 1st half. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They go play action. Daniels. Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Daniels. Hurts over the middle. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Buying time to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will tie us at 24 all. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still a little bit of time following the made field goal, but we are tied as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll throw now on the final play. That one downfield for Dotson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Now Daniels. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made it their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Samuel in motion. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. I know we spend a lot of time talking about how the defensive backs read routes and make plays on the football. How about a good linebacker? Feeling the route, seeing the quarterback, jumps the play, and knocks it away. Really well done.
Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. To the air goes Daniels. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Daniels looking to throw. Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
To throw is Daniels. And it's caught. And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Jaden Daniels keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Commanders have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Gay is on for the point after. And they will take a 7-point lead now. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over once more. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Throwing is Hurts. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 16 more on that one and another first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you could have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
From the gun, it's Hurts. It's caught. Smith. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Washington offense set to take over. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler, and he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Off the play fake, Daniels. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Open man is Samuel, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. On the bootleg, it's Daniels. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 41-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Washington with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's a quick throw out wide. It's McLaurin. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing now is Daniels. It's complete to Robinson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Reed Blankenship delivering the hit.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
He's got a man on the comeback route. That's McLaurin. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 16. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
The tight end in motion right. Play action, now it's Daniels.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Completions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Off play action, Daniels. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
2nd and 3rd levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Touchdown, Washington. Deebo Samuel from 4 yards out. And the Commanders get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle to Smith. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete. That's Quan Martin getting in there to break that one up.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Slot man moves right. They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Robinson up the middle. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll run with Robinson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Robinson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Robinson. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Hurts and the Eagles now down by 2 touchdowns. 1:50 to play. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Here's Hurts to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Hurts. And that's complete to Brown. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
1 timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Back to throw again. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
Here now, 2nd and 10 from the 13. They go play action with Hurts. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flush to his right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. And the Washington offense going back to work. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. On the give, here's Robinson. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.